So today's little chat, I have many rants. I think I had a Vampire Diaries rant as well, but we'll just stick to this one, right? I don't know why I second guess my rants and then don't post them. But anyway, um, this one. Let's start here. South Africa is approximately 122.3 million hectares. South Africa has a population of 59.89 million. Let's do maths. So, if all the land in South Africa was divided by every single individual in South Africa, each of us would have 2 million hectares. This includes children. This includes all the poor. This includes everybody. If we were to space out South Africa, children and all of us would each have 2 hectares. And now we know not everybody lives as individual units, especially considering the fact that most of South Africa's population is youth, and the youth are usually with their parents. Do you understand that the 2 hectares per person is even ridiculous to have as a stat? Now let's do maths again. 14% of 122 million hectares is owned by the state. 79% is in private hands. Let's do maths again. If we do maths again, 122 million hectares multiplied by 14% is 17,122,000. That's how much government owns the land. That means 96,617,000 hectares belong to the 1% in South Africa, if not the top 10%. Again, do you remember how many people are in South Africa? 59.89 million. Now let's multiply that by 10%. How many people do you get? That means 5,989 people own 99 million hectares of land. And so in case you start bullshitting yourself about how much you know about this land you apparently want to take back, this land report is from 2017. It's this one, 2017. There is the millions of hectares owned by private landowners by category, individuals, companies, CBOs, trusts, and co-owned. And all of it makes up 93 million. Then we go, number of private landowners, 6 million. Now, based on the stats that we just did together, based on the populations that we just did together, does it not look like it's less here, but more there? Maybe it's because they're increasing here. Maybe. Because then they don't own it themselves. The individualism goes down. But then they now own, how many millions did we calculate together that they own? 96 million. They've been taking more and have given back fuck all. So if you understand what this means, it means that out of a population of 59.8 million, 85%, no, 80%, it's the top 10%, 90% of the population is living on 24 million hectares, 20% of our land in one person. You guys are crazy. Nina, you middle class, you're only 20%. Elite is 4%. So 76% of South Africa is what, guys? 53 million people on 17 million hectares of land. Yet 5 million people own 79% of it. Come in, how much is 79% of 122 million hectares? 996 million. 996 million. Apparently, I was even being nice. It's even less people, and I knew it would be. But I was just using the percentages just to make a point. But now that I got this, because I decided to look it up too, the top 1% of South Africa adult population, because that one included the whole population, including children. So I guess that's what skewed it a little bit, which is why it's important to contextualize your methodology when reporting stats. Now, I'm looking at the adult population of South Africa. I did say that most of South Africa is young, but now we're specifically looking at the adult population. Now, the top 1% of the adult population, 350,000 individuals, own 55% of the aggregate personal wealth. And the top 0.1% account, 35,000 people, own 1/3 of the wealth. You guys that like using your imagination and protecting your imaginary gold, for you to reach a 1%, you need to earn 4.2 million to be considered a member of the top 1%. With an average net worth of 22.6 million, with the information I just gave you about your land ownership. What are your chances? Y'all that like protecting, you providers, what are your chances? Do you see how stupid you are? You don't check anything. Now you're busy. I need to be the only sole provider in this economy. This is foolishness. It's utter foolishness, South Africans, and it's lack of focus. This is a lack of focus. And because you like your xenophobia, here in 2021, Stats SA already fixed your nonsense and lies. And mind you, it's a 4 million undocumented migrants. In case you need a visual, 1 football field, 1 hectare is 2 acres. 1 football field is 1 acre. That means 4 football fields per person, including the population of children. Because I don't think you guys think about these things. I don't think you guys go in depth about these things. I don't think you spend time in your day to verify the information you receive. So I thought, let's do this breakdown together, because y'all don't listen to anyone. Y'all don't listen to anyone. When people tell you that white monopolist capitalism is controlling everything, it's because white monopolist capitalism owns 79% of your land. It owns 75% of your economy. 350,000 adults. 0.1% own 1/3. That is 33,3% in 35,000 people. 4 football fields per person. And then obviously when you get married, it's 1 household. You can even have your stambu so comfortably on 4 football fields. South Africans, get serious. Get serious about who your op is, because this thing of protecting Abelungu who are this violent, this greedy, and hoarding, and when not you think a population that is less than 3% of your fucking brethren are your problem. I must condone this violence. Our mother was just thrown. At least they were born here, you tell, and you say, oh look, there they are. At least they were born here, yeah? And oh look, at least they were born here, hired an illegal foreigner for cheap labor. It's as if they want it this way and it benefits them. Yeah, you're angry here instead of those that are making use, your little born here South Africans. This story shows everything that we have been telling you, that when the minimum wage was set, because all of them want to remove their minimum wage, DA included, because they need labor that's this cheap. Hence why illegal foreigners have always, guys, illegal foreigners bringing in cheap labor, what does that sound like? What does that parallel to? Does it not sound like kidnapping people from home and then forcing them to work your fields? It's been 30 years. There's no way you can play that I didn't know card. There's no way that you'll be listening to Western imposed information about your own country, that you won't even listen to what the people are telling you about your land. It's senselessness.